Design students. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to use Illustrator to make drawings that can give instructions to a plotter cutter. We'll output these files as Illustrator for our own archives, but as SVGs that the plotter cutter can interpret. So we'll start our drawings with some rectangles, and we'll learn how to position them by using rotation. We'll learn how to be very precise in these intersections and how to connect things with the line segment tool. This last segment, this angle here, we won't really know, but I'll show you how to copy this portion and rotate it so that by using both bits of information, we will be able to determine this point. And then we will take time to trace the cut outlines, and we'll use red to indicate our score lines. In the end, we will save it as an Illustrator file so we can come back and adjust it if we want to, and we'll also export it as the SVG. So let's get started. All right, in Illustrator, you want to do a new file. Often you can come up here for new, which gives us this dialog box, and come up to print, and you'll find the letter. Just be sure that it's in inches, and we will accept the defaults of this color and 300 pixels per inch. Once we are in this part of the program, be sure to go into the window and pull down the workspace and confirm that you are using the Essentials setup. That way your tools will be arranged on the screen as they're seen here. Now over here under the Properties and Layers, we'll click on the Layers tab, and it defaults to one layer, but we'll come down, click the plus sign twice to get 2 more layers, and just click and drag that green layer to the bottom. We want to use that as our drawing layer. So we'll double click there and type in drawing, and let's go ahead and name the blue layer cut and the red layer score. Now I want to point out to you here that there are eyeballs that you can use to turn on and off visibility of the layers, and there's also the option to lock what's on a layer, and that's going to be useful to us later. Let's highlight the drawing layer by clicking on it, and that's the layer that is now active. Over here, probably your rectangle tool is showing by default, but I'll just show you here all of these tools are available to you under that rectangle. So we'll get started with this rectangle. I had the lock on, let's turn that off. And we'll come over and we're going to drag out a rectangle. This is an arbitrary size because the next thing we can do is click on the Properties tab, and we can very precisely define this rectangle. It is probable that when you come here in this 3x3 grid, your center dot is going to be clicked. Please click the upper right hand dot, and with that clicked, now if you type in 1 tab 1, what that does is it positions this rectangle 1 inch down and 1 inch in, and we can be very precise about the size of the rectangle. So let's say its width is going to be 2 inches. We'll hit tab, and its height will be 1 inch. There's a very precisely defined rectangle. Next, we want to fill this, or use the colors that are related to this layer. Remember, we're on the green layer. So first of all, we can come into the stroke, and let's pick this swatch for green. If you hover, you'll notice that it says CMYK green. That's the green we want. And let's not use any fill. So click on fill and come over and click this box, which will make it empty. And now we're just working with a rectangle that has a green outline and no fill. We need 4 of these. A quick way to do that is to use the selector tool. Hold Option, click on the rectangle and drag. And just get as close as possible, and then come in, and by zooming in, you can get a very precise view of placement. There we go. There. And then the next thing we want to do is rotate. So this is the rotate tool on the left, and we'll click this and indicate that that corner is going to be the anchor of our rotation. And anywhere out here you can click and drag so we can start to get rotation going. Let's do that again. Selector, hold down, option, pull this over very close, but then definitely go in. This is the quality control happening even right now when you zoom in and make sure things are aligned perfectly. And come back to rotate. Select that point as the hub. And we can pull this around. What you're doing right now is just arbitrary. Don't worry about it. Let's just get these going. And the last one we're going to pull out. Option, hold this down, drag it, and we'll rotate it in. Let's first of all make sure they're overlapping. That worked out pretty well, didn't it? There we go. And choose our rotation point and start rotating this way. And this is the last one. We really don't know the angle this needs to be, but I'm going to show you a way that we can help ourselves figure that out in just a couple minutes here. Next, we need some lines going to our center point. What we're about to define is the peak of our module. So I'm going to hold and drag over to get the line segment tool. And now this also is going to be sort of an arbitrary choice that you can make. You could put your pointer anywhere in here, inside of this arena, if you will. I'm going to do one. Let's do it over here. I'm going to click and hold, and now I'm dragging to that corner. And I'm going to hover here, click and hold, and it's snapping to that one. Great. I'm going to hover here, click, hold, snap to that one. Hover here, click, hold, snap to that one. And once again, it's this last one that we're not quite sure about. Now, this was doing great snapping here. I'm confident that that's very accurate there. Let's just go check these and see that definitely looks like that snapped into the correct position. So that, in terms of quality control, that looks pretty good. All right, so far we have 3 segments of our module. We're about to do the 4th segment, and in the next video I'm going to show you a way to make that as accurate as possible. See you there.